Hey everyone, welcome back to English with Confidence. I'm Gabby.
And I'm Pedro. Today we're diving into a really fun English idiom that's perfect for everyday conversation.
That's right, we're talking about don't count your chickens before they hatch. Pedro, I have to ask, have you ever actually seen a chicken hatch?
Ha! Actually, yes. My grandmother had chickens when I was little. But here's the thing. This phrase isn't really about chickens at all.
Exactly. So let's break this down. Literally, if you count your chickens before they hatch, you're counting eggs and assuming they'll all become chickens. But some eggs might not hatch, right?
Right, exactly. Some might be damaged, some might not develop properly, so you're setting yourself up for disappointment if you count 10 eggs as 10 chickens.
Perfect. So figuratively, this means don't assume something good will happen before it actually happens. Don't make plans based on something that might not work out.
It's basically warning against being too optimistic or overconfident about future events.
Let me give you a perfect example. Imagine your friend says, I'm definitely getting that promotion next month, so I'm going to buy a new car this weekend.
Oh no, yeah, that's when you'd say, hey, don't count your chickens before they hatch, because what if they don't get the promotion?
Exactly. Then they're stuck with car payments they can't afford. It's about being cautious with your planning.
You know what's interesting about this phrase? It's actually really old. Like we're talking ancient Greece old. Aesop's fables had a similar story about a farmer who counted his chickens before they hatched.
That's so cool. So people have been making this mistake for thousands of years. Some things never change, right?
Totally. And it makes sense why this phrase stuck around. We all tend to get excited about good possibilities and start planning as if they're guaranteed.
Oh, I have a great real-life example. Last year, my cousin applied to several universities. She got so excited about her first choice school that she started planning her dorm room, picking classes.
Oh no, I can see where this is going.
Yeah, she even bought university merchandise before she got accepted. When the rejection letter came, she was devastated. Her mom told her, Honey, you counted your chickens before they hatched.
That's such a perfect use of the phrase. It's not mean or critical. It's more like gentle advice to be more realistic next time.
Exactly. The tone is important here. It's usually said with care, not to hurt someone's feelings. It's more like, hey, let's be careful about our expectations.
Right. Actually, I've been guilty of this myself. Remember when cryptocurrency was really popular? I calculated how much money I'd make if my investment tripled.
Oh no. Let me guess. You started planning what you'd do with all that money?
Totally. I was already picking out the vacation I'd take. Then the market crashed. My friend said, dude, you counted your chickens before they hatched. And he was absolutely right.
That's such a good example. So when do we typically use this phrase? It's usually when someone is being overly optimistic about uncertain outcomes.
Yeah, like job interviews, investments, relationships, sports bets, business deals. Basically any situation where the outcome isn't guaranteed, but someone's acting like it is.
Perfect examples. Here's another scenario. I'm sure I'll win the lottery this week, so I'm going to quit my job. That's definitely counting your chickens before they hatch.
That's an extreme example, but it really shows the concept. The important thing for our listeners to know is that this phrase is used in everyday conversation, not just dramatic situations.
Absolutely. You might hear it at work. The client seems interested, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. Wait for the signed contract.
Yeah, our team is winning, but it's only halftime. Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Great example. Now, here's a pro tip for our listeners. You can also use shorter versions, like just saying, don't count your chickens. People will understand.
That's true. Or sometimes people say, let's not count our chickens yet. It's the same meaning, but sounds a bit more casual.
And here's something interesting. This phrase teaches us something about American and English-speaking culture in general. We value being practical and realistic, not just optimistic.
That's a really good point. It's not about being negative, it's about being prepared for different outcomes. It shows wisdom and experience.
Exactly. So, for our listeners practicing English, this is a phrase that will make you sound very natural and wise when you use it correctly.
Absolutely. Just remember the key. Use it when someone is making plans or assumptions based on something that hasn't happened yet.
Perfect. So, to wrap up, don't count your chickens before they hatch means don't assume good things will happen before they actually do. Wait for confirmation before making plans.
And remember, it's used with a caring tone to give gentle advice about being more realistic. Try using it this week when you hear someone being overly optimistic.
Thanks for joining us on English with Confidence. Don't forget to practice this phrase, and we'll see you next time with another fun idiom to boost your English skills. But before we wrap up, let's dive a little deeper. Pedro, I think our listeners would love to hear about some related expressions. This isn't the only phrase about being cautious with expectations, right?
Absolutely. There are several expressions with similar meanings. For example, don't put the cart before the horse. That's about doing things in the wrong order or assuming something will happen.
Great one. And there's also don't count on it, which is a bit more direct and skeptical. Or it's not a done deal, meaning it's not final or certain yet. These all share that theme of not assuming outcomes.
You know what? Let's practice the pronunciation of our main phrase. It's got some tricky sounds for non-native speakers. Everyone listening, repeat after me. Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Great! Let's break that down sound by sound. The tricky parts are count with that ow sound and chickens. Notice it's chick-ins, not chickens. And hatch ends with that strong ch sound.
Perfect pronunciation tips. Now, let's do a little practice exercise. I'll give you some scenarios, and you can think about whether this would be a good time to use our phrase. Ready?
Your friend just had a great first date and is already planning their wedding. Would you use this phrase?
Absolutely. That's a perfect example. Planning a wedding after one date? Definitely time to say don't count your chickens before they hatch. They need to see if there's even a second date first.
Here's scenario 2. Your coworker says they think they did well on an interview, so they're going to start looking for apartments in that city. What do you think?
Another great example. Looking at apartments before getting the job offer? That's premature. You could definitely use the phrase here. Hold on, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Wait until you actually get the offer.
Last scenario, your friend bought lottery tickets and is already researching luxury cars online. Obviously, this phrase applies, but let's talk about how you'd say it. Remember, tone matters.
Great point. You'd want to say it gently, maybe with a smile. Hey, I love your optimism, but don't count your chickens before they hatch. Maybe wait and see what numbers come up first? It's supportive, not critical.
You know what's fascinating? This phrase is used across all English-speaking countries, the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, but some countries have their own variations too.
Exactly. For example, if someone says, I hope to get that job, it would be amazing, that's just expressing a dream. But if they say, I'm getting that job, so I'm going to quit my current job tomorrow, that's when
Perfect
you'd use our
distinction.
phrase.
Now, let me give you a memory tip. Think of this phrase as a gentle reminder to wait for the hatching, the actual result, before you start counting, making plans. Egg equals uncertainty, chicken equals certainty.
That's a brilliant memory device. Here's your homework for this week. Listen for situations where this phrase would apply. Don't necessarily use it, just notice when people are making plans based on uncertain outcomes. Practice recognizing the pattern.
And remember, using this phrase shows emotional intelligence and wisdom. It's not about crushing dreams, it's about helping people make smarter decisions and avoid disappointment. That's why it's been popular for centuries.
And just to boost your confidence, this is a really sophisticated phrase that even native speakers appreciate when used correctly. You'll sound thoughtful and mature when you use it appropriately.
Absolutely. And that's a wrap on today's deep dive into Don't Count Your Chickens Before They Hatch. We covered pronunciation, usage, cultural context, related phrases, and practical examples. You're now fully equipped to use this idiom like a native speaker.